Good evening. My name is Ross Nova. It is Friday. Thank God. This week went by so fast. It was long week for me. I put so many hours. Ridiculous. So I'm grateful tonight. I can go to bed, sleep in next morning, and just continue making videos. Now, it is cold outside. I've noticed there's protesters. Today is a protest day where people started protesting around, I don't know, 7, 8 o'clock this morning. That's awesome. It is going to get really cold again tonight. So, or if you are going to go out protest, make sure you wear mittens instead of gloves. Bring extra pair of socks. In case your socks get wet, you need to swap them out. One trick I would recommend is put baby powder in your socks before you put your socks on. That will keep your socks dry at all times. It's what we do in the military, and it works every time. Great little trick for you. So, you know, as I have my hat today, that's my battlefield hat. You know, this is my go to war hat. I am going to war with the government, with the state of Minnesota, to lower the taxes. It's going to be very tricky, I feel like, because we are, as a state, super nice. We love to help people. We love to, you know, give our shirts off our backs, you know, for the homeless, for the needy, for all these people that may need it, right? But Minnesota is broke. We, as citizens, are broke. At what point do we just say enough is enough? Let's look after ourselves, right? I am personally struggling each and every day in the last month, I barely managed to pay the mortgage off for that month. Just barely. My utility bills, I kicked it down the curb twice, you know, and now I owe $600, which I can finally pay that, you know, next Monday. But it's a constant struggle, you know. And I'm thinking, like, I love helping people, but I have to take care of myself. I've spent money just, what was it, a month ago? I do dog sitting for free because I love dogs, and it's a win-win situation. And this girl didn't have money to neuter her dog. And I'm like, here's $250, you know. She used it, you know, and it was great. And I got to continue playing with the dog, you know, kept looking after her every once in a while on weekends. The thing is, we all want to help, no matter what. But we have to say enough is enough. You have to put yourself first before the government, before all these other programs, right? Don't get me wrong. We have many great programs, but we have to be more particular on what programs we want to support and fund, and which ones we just have to say, I'm sorry, we're just gonna have to hold off temporarily because we have to rebuild everything back up. Minnesota is broke and the citizens are broke. We're all struggling. So what do we have to do? We have to cut back and save at the same time. Two things at the same time we have to do. There is a way. It's going to be very challenging. There'll be a lot of sacrifice, especially on certain programs. I don't know which programs yet. I don't know all the programs because we have hundreds of programs that we're throwing money at. We may have to say on certain ones, we might have to just pull back temporarily until we can get back on our feet and so forth. How can we put money back into people? How can we help, you know, the citizens of Minnesota? And one of the biggest things I'm strongly in support of is cutting taxes across the entire board. Okay, across everything, we have to cut taxes. We need to bring relief immediately. Come 2027, you should start seeing relief. You should be able to breathe. And that's my goal for you as taxpaying, is to bring relief to all the people. It doesn't matter if you're rich, middle class, or poor. Everybody should feel the same relief, okay? And what I'm going to do is put the government on a tight budget. They've raised the taxes every year, and they get more programs, and they give more money, and then they ask for more money from us, and we give more money. It's just a vicious cycle. And so we need to put the government on a hold. We need to put them on a tight budget and limited dollars. Say limited budget. It's like you have this much money, work with it. Once it's out, it's out. Wait until next year for you to get more money from the taxpayers. That's what I believe in. We need to put them on rabbit food. Green salad, that's it. No steak, no shrimp, no nothing. Just salad, that's it. So, I am excited. I got this board that came in from Amazon. I've been waiting for one of these things. And look. It has a magnetic holder. Isn't that cool? I've been waiting for this for a while, and finally I get to use it. So, did you know this past year, foreclosures on homes was up 17%. 17%. Last month, I barely managed to pay the mortgage. I just barely. If I was short $200 or so, I would have not made my mortgage. That's how tight everything was. I cut everything. Like, I was literally not eating much. I was just barely making it through, just trying to get that money to pay off the mortgage, and I didn't even pay my utility bill. Not the utility bill, the city utility bill. Yeah, the water, the garbage, all that stuff. I skipped that twice, because I'm like, I can't afford this. I'm gonna kick it down the curb. I'm gonna deal with that later, right? I got $30, late fee you gotta pay on top of that. But thank God I get to pay that off Monday or Tuesday. I got the money. I'm back up at my feet, and I'm going strong once again. So I'm excited. I put myself on the budget. Yeah, I'm doing great. Now we need to put the government on the budget, so that way it doesn't spend money loosely. Like they've been doing it for the past 20, 30, 40 years. I don't know how long. So 17% is up right now. That's horrible, right? So property tax right now is number 20 highest across the entire US. We're number 20 on the highest. So we need to pause. So my first action that I would like to do is freeze increase, meaning will not increase any property tax going forward for the next 4 years. Meaning your property tax will be the same for the next 4 years. So if you're paying $250 a month for property tax, next year is $250. The following year, $250. 3 years from now, $250, and fourth year, $250. I want to put a freeze. That's to help government know exactly how much is coming every year, and they have to work with that budget. They can't, it's like, well, we're going to have more money next year, so we're going to plan for that and budget according to that. No, we're cutting off the government completely. You have exactly $250 from me every year for the next 4 years. No more, no less. Period. Each taxpayer would save, if it's $250, that's what, $1,000 by end of 4 years. They'll be saving $1,000 by the time 4 years. So every year they'll save $250, and then next year they'll save $500, following year, and so forth and so forth. See where I'm going with this? You'll be saving a lot more money as the years go by because we freeze the increase of tax property. Gas tax. We're number 22, the highest. Does not make sense. We're at 31.9 cents per gallon. We're the highest, one of the highest at 22. What I would like to do is bring it to 29.57. So that saves you just over 2 cents. And you'll be like, Ross, how'd you get that number? Well, let me answer that question for you. We took the average of Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Illinois, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. We added it all up, divided by 5, and this beautiful number, 29.57, came to be the average of all 5 states. So I would personally like to bring the gas tax down to 29.57 instead of 31.9. So that's like what, 2 cents? Yeah, that's 2 cents, just over 2 cents per gallon. It's not much, but it does add up. Like every time you fill up, you'll save about 47 cents. For 20 gallons, you'll save about $24 per year on gas when it comes to taxes. That's, for a lot of small cars, sedans, that's one full tank of gas right there. It's not much, but it does add up, just like the tax property, right? First year, I save $250. Next year, I save $500, and so forth and so forth. By the time you hit 4th year, you're saving $1,000 in property tax. Wow. Plus additional $24 per year on top of that. Now you see where I'm going with this? Government has taxed you a little bit over here, a little bit over there, a little bit over there, and there, to where it adds up. It might not seem like a big deal, like, oh, whatever, $1 here, $1 there per year, no big deal. It all adds up fast, right? Now, people will not be happy with this because people are always saying tax the rich, tax the rich, tax the rich. Those rich people and their big companies, gone to the next state over, to Wisconsin or South Dakota or North Dakota, hell, Texas or Florida, but there's no state income tax, right? Right now, the state corporate tax was at 9.9%. And it came down to 8.8 this year. We are still by far the highest. I kept asking myself, why are these big corporate companies like Tesla moving in, Amazon moving their headquarters over here, Ford, or some of the other big major companies, why are they not moving in? State corporate tax, that's why. And if they don't move, there's no jobs. If we keep raising the state corporate tax, the big businesses leave. Then you don't have a job. Then you can't pay the bills. You lose your home. Foreclosures. It's all connected. And who's the main corporate right now? Who's the big bad wolf? Not me. The government. They're forcing all these big companies out of the state. There's multiple big, large businesses that have left. That's 4, 5, 600 employees gone overnight. What I would like to do with state corporate tax, you rich people, you big business, white whales, unicorn people, like this. I'm going to drop it down to 3.9. It's not the lowest, but it's definitely not the highest. Immediately. That way you can start thinking about, hey, maybe I want to move to Minnesota and open up some few plants where they can hire us. The middle class people, the low income class people. Do you follow? And then 0.5% every year for 4 years, it'll go down to where it will hit 1.9% and holding steady. 1.9 is very competitive against all the other states. Now we can compete for those big businesses to come to Minnesota. Hey, you come and expect, the taxes, the state corporate tax to go down for the next 4 years, and then hold steady after that. Man, that sounds good. When would you like to come? Well, come in 2027. Come on in. We'll have it drop so quickly, it'll be scary. It'll be so awesome. Income tax. It's at 9.85%. So every time you pay money, every time you get a paycheck, they take out 9.85%. I would like to drop it down to 5.28%. That's a huge drop. You're saving, 120 per paycheck. That's a cell phone bill. That's a lot. Let me see my phone here. Let's say your paycheck. These are very rough numbers, right? Calculator. Let's say you get $800, right? If you're making $20 an hour, 40 hours a week or so, $20. So clear 800 times 0.098. That's $78 that you're paying right now with the state income tax. Let's go back. If it's 5.28, that's 42. You're saving $30 per paycheck. That's $1,500 per year. That's a lot. That's pretty much, you get 2 extra paychecks. Do you like that? I like that. I want that. That's crazy. You save $1,200 extra per year by dropping down to 5.28. And Ross, please explain how you came up with this beautiful 5.28. Wow, can you take a guess? Same thing over here. We added North Dakota, South Dakota, Illinois, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. We added them all up, divided by 5, and we came to the average of 5.28. Are you saying now why it's so much more expensive in Minnesota versus if you go to Wisconsin? Why your dollar is not going as far as it should? Because the taxes keep going up every freaking year. You and I need a break. Crying Amy, she wants to help the middle and lower income tax by taxing the rich people. That doesn't really help you. No, we need to lower all the taxes across the entire board. We can't just pick one and forget about the others. They're all connected. They're all connected. If you increase the state corporate tax, then everything else goes expensive, and you go to the store, and that's more expensive. When you get extra $30 on your paycheck on the state income tax, that's $30 extra. That's food. It costs average of what, $50 a week? At least for me, it costs average about $50 a week to get food. Boom. That's where it's at. Now I don't have to starve myself anymore. I can actually eat. One of the biggest things I believe is if you put your own pressure, the most important thing that you own is your time, right? Because once you give time to your job, to your family, to the government, to whoever, you cannot get that back. Time is the most precious thing that you own. Once it's gone, it's gone. Yet, like myself, I work 60, 70, 80, 90 hours a week. I can't get that back. I'm sacrificing myself so I can save money and start businesses, start my family, and hopefully retire comfortably and have something aside for my future generation of family. Try and build a generational wealth, right? I'm willing to sacrifice my precious time to work hard now. You know, one week I worked 93 hours. My paycheck was $3,000, just over $3,000. I was so excited. It's like, yes, I'm gonna get a nice paycheck. And when I got the paycheck, $1,000 was gone. In fact, after when you work from 40 to 50 hours, you make good money, right? So times and a half. After 50, 60 hours, it's almost not worth it. But you have to play the game if you want to get ahead. You have to fight for every freaking dollar. And I hate that. So I would like to get rid of no overtime tax. Because if you're willing to sacrifice holidays, weekends, evenings to be, away from your family, away from friends, not going on vacations, so you can build something real for your family, for your future generation. Should you not be rewarded? Should you not keep it all? You put your 40 hours in. Government came in, they bullied you, they got their money. Why should they take more money when that time should be spent with family? Right? So I believe in no overtime tax, period. In fact, this is something I may have talked with federal. This might not be on my level. Your income, your tax bracket, right? Your tax bracket. I'm still learning all these terminologies, right? Your tax bracket is based on the total amount that you earn, right? So they add all of it up, and they say, all right, you made 100K, you're on this tax bracket. You made 50K, you're on this tax bracket, right? Does not matter how many, that includes your overtime, right? What I would like to do is talk to President Trump or whoever's in the White House and say, can we tax based on the first 40 hours only? That should be your tax bracket. It should not go up after 40 hours. You should not change the tax bracket because that's where you start sacrificing your precious time, your minutes, your hours, your days, your holidays, your weekends, time with family, times with friends, holidays. We have to give opportunity to allow people to gain wealth if they're willing to sacrifice their precious time, right? You guys, I know Minnesota, tax the rich, tax the rich, tax the rich. They leave. We have no jobs. We struggle finding a job. The only job we find is McDonald's. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with working McDonald's, but it's not the kind of income we want, right? We have to give relief to the rich people. I'm sorry, but we have to. We have chased out so many large corporate companies. A lot of corporate companies even close their doors for good. I know so by experience. I worked at WestRock. They shut down their doors. Did the state step in to help in some way? I don't think so. They had plenty of time to do so, but they didn't. So they shut down the doors. I lost my job. So, you rich son of a bitch, got your back too. 1%, and this not just for the rich people. These are like for retired people too. You know, if you retired and hit that million dollar net worth status, congratulations. We should be celebrating, not taking more from you. That's what I believe. 1% net tax at $1 million. I say we bring it up to $4 or $5 million. If my goal is to hit the $1 million status, net worth, and all of a sudden you bullies come after me after working, 10, 20 years, and it's like, well, sucks to be you. Now I want to take all that away from you after we put 40, 50, 60, 70, 90 hours a week, and you just want to come and steal it from me? Yeah, no. You should be able to retire comfortably and give it to your family for when you pass away. So that way they don't struggle the way you have. We sacrifice our time so our future generation does not have to sacrifice. Estate tax. All the stuff that you want to pass on, your house, your jewelry, your companies, right? Your warehouses, all these things that you worked so hard to build, or your dad or your past family has passed on to you that they worked hard for, right? Right now, it's at 3 million, right? I want to go to 10 million because 3 million is not that much. A warehouse can cost about $2 to $3 million, right? And all of a sudden you want to go after that one warehouse that the family has worked so hard to pay off, and all of a sudden you go after that when they pass away. No, I think that should go up to $10 million, not 3 million. The dollar value goes down. I think that number needs to change to 10 million. That is the way to put more money back into your pockets, like real money. And that's everybody winning across the entire board, not just the rich. It's everybody winning across. Because if you bring the rich back into the cities, because of the state corporate tax goes down to 1.9 in the next 4 years, we have more jobs, abundance of jobs, abundance of opportunities. That's what we want. We have to cut taxes. Now, when we cut taxes, right, government will have a lot less. So let's say they have $20 billion of taxes coming in this year because of the high taxes they've been fucking beating it out of us, right? It's going to go down to 15 billion instead of 20 billion, right? Now they have to budget. They have to lose weight. They have to eat salad. No more steaks, no more shrimp, no more alcohol. It's all freaking rice and beans and rice, maybe a little bit of salad. That's it. We had to put them on a budget. And I do have a plan on how to fix the taxes and how they spend money too. That's in another video. And I think I did not talk about it yet, but I got my whiteboard, so I can definitely go ahead and do that. So I truly believe this is how we help the working American from lower to middle and to upper. And we can bring the middle class back again. Okay? This is my detailed plan. Now, this is not set in stone. This is what I believe. Okay? We can adjust things a little bit, right? Maybe bring the corporate tax to 2.3 down to 2.3 instead of 1.9 over the next 4 years. We could make small adjustments. This isn't permanent. So this is my solution in helping you guys. And like I said, if we freeze so not just the homeowners benefit, the renters as well too, because if we freeze the taxes, right, where they don't go up anymore, the rent should not go up for the next 4 years, even in 4 years, yeah, because there's no need to. The only time rent will go up is because you have a selfish landlord. That's the only reason, or they did a major repair, which hopefully you will then understand, right? Taxes on apartment buildings, they go up a lot, because it's such a big building, right? So they have to tax it, and when taxes go up, so this property of the apartment goes up. Therefore, they're gonna pass it on to you. But if we freeze the property tax for 4 years, your rent should not go up for the next 4 years. And if they say because of taxes, tell them BS. That's what I got for you with taxes so far. There's much more, but I think it's a good start. Ross Nova, shooting forward, brighter, bolder, with less taxes for a better tomorrow. Thank you.